Hey there, Marvel Spider-Man fans. Today we are diving into the dark side of Marvel Spider-Man 2 and exploring a striking thought. Would Peter Parker die in Marvel Spider-Man 2? I'll be giving my personal thoughts at the end, so stick around to find what I think. Also, you can skip to the end as there are timestamps on the video, so buckle up and let's get into this. The Venom Symbiote. Okay, I would briefly explain the Venom Symbiote because it is really important to what I'm going to be talking about today. So the Venom Symbiote was first introduced in the Amazing Spider-Man number 252 in 1984. It was originally presented as a new black and white costume for Spider-Man, but it was later revealed to be an alien symbiote that had combined with Peter Parker. The symbiote was originally from the planet Clintar, where it was part of a peaceful race of symbiotes that bonded with hosts to form a mutually beneficial relationship. However, the Venom symbiote was different from the others, as it had a darker nature and was rejected by its own kind. After bonding with Spider-Man, the symbiote became obsessed with him and started to influence his behavior. Peter eventually realized that the symbiote was causing him harm and managed to separate himself from it. But the symbiote found a new host in Eddie Brock, a disgraced journalist who blamed Spider-Man for his failures. As Venom, Eddie Brock became one of Spider-Man's most formidable foes, using the symbiote's powers to enhance his strength, agility, and durability. However, over time, he also developed a complex relationship with the symbiote as it started to influence his personality and emotions. But how did the symbiote get to Peter in the first place? Well, the story begins in the Amazing Spider-Man number 252 when Spider-Man returns from the Secret Wars, a cosmic battle between superheroes and villains. He's wearing a new black and white costume that he obtained during the battle, but he soon realizes that there's something strange about it. As he swings through the city, he notices that the costume is responding to his thoughts and movements in ways that his old costume never did. It's almost as if it's alive. Eventually, Spider-Man discovers that the costume is actually an alien symbiote that had combined with him during the Secret Wars. The symbiote had been looking for a host to bond with, and it found a perfect match in Spider-Man. At first, Spider-Man is thrilled with the new costume, as it enhances his powers and makes him look even cooler than before. However, he soon realizes that there is a dark side to the symbiote. The symbiote is actually feeding off of Spider-Man's adrenaline and emotions, making him more aggressive and reckless. It's also trying to permanently bond with him, which would mean that he would never be able to take it off. Realizing that he needs to get rid of the symbiote, Spider-Man seeks the help of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four. Together, they discover that the symbiote is vulnerable to sound and fire, and they manage to separate it from Spider-Man. When the Venom symbiote first bonded with Spider-Man, it immediately started to enhance his physical abilities. Spider-Man noticed that he was stronger, faster, and more agile than ever before. He could jump higher, run faster, and lift heavier objects with ease. The symbiote also provided Spider-Man with a new set of powers that he had never had before. For example, he could now shoot webs from any parts of his body, not just his wrists. He could also change the shape and size of his costume at will, allowing him to blend in with his surroundings or create intimidating shapes to scare his enemies. But the benefits of the symbiote went beyond just physical enhancements. It also provided Spider-Man with a new level of protection. The symbiote was incredibly durable and could absorb most forms of physical damage. It also had a healing factor that allowed Spider-Man to recover from injuries much faster than before. However, as we know, the symbiote also had a dark side. It made Peter become more aggressive and moody, and he was having trouble controlling his emotions. He was also becoming more violent in his crime fighting, using excessive force against his enemies. The Venom Symbiote is a unique organism that requires a host in order to survive. It's not just a costume or a piece of equipment that can be taken on or off at will. The symbiote needs to bond with the host in order to feed and grow. However, the symbiote's need for a host goes beyond just survival. It also has a parasitic tendency to take over its host's mind and body. It feeds off of the host's emotions and amplifies them, making the host more aggressive and impulsive. It also tries to permanently bond with the host, which could mean that the host would never be able to take it off. This parasitic tendency is what makes the Venom symbiote so dangerous. It's not just a tool that can be used for good or evil. It's a living organism that has its own agenda and desires. It wants to bond with the host and take over their mind and body, regardless of the consequences. Its feeding processes goes beyond just emotions. The symbiote also feeds off of the host's life force, slowly draining them of their energy and vitality. At first, the symbiote's feeding process is subtle. The host may feel more tired than usual, or they may notice that they are not healing as quickly as they used to. However, as time goes on, the symbiote's feeding becomes more intense. The host may start to age more rapidly, or they may develop serious health benefits that they can't explain. Ultimately, the symbiote's feeding process can lead to the host's death. The symbiote drains the host of their life force until there is nothing left, leaving behind a lifeless husk. This is why the symbiote is often referred to as a parasite. It feeds off of its host until there is nothing left, and then it moves on to a new host. The Venom symbiote is a fan favorite character in the Marvel universe, and its introduction in the Spider-Man 2 game has fans buzzing with excitement. In the game's trailer, we see the symbiote attach itself to Peter Parker's suit, transforming it into the iconic black suit that fans know and love. This transformation has significant implications for the game's storyline. In the comics, the symbiote's attachment to Peter Parker leads to a dark and dangerous path as it slowly takes over his mind and body. This could mean that the game's storyline would take a darker turn as Peter struggles to resist the symbiote's influence and maintain control of his actions. Additionally, the introduction of the symbiote could mean that we'll see other fan favorite characters from the comics, such as Eddie Brock, who becomes the villainous Venom after bonding with the symbiote, which means Peter doesn't die. This could lead to some epic battles between Spider-Man and Venom as they fight for control of the symbiote and the fate of New York City. One of the possibilities is that the game will portray the symbiote's harmful effects on Peter in a similar way to the comics. In the comics, the symbiote amplifies Peter's negative emotions, making him more aggressive and impulsive. This could lead to some intense and emotional moments in the game, as Peter struggles to maintain control of his actions and resist the symbiote's influence. We could also see Peter's physical appearance change as the symbiote takes over his body, with his eyes turning black and his skin becoming more pale and sickly. This could be a powerful way to show the symbiote's impact on Peter and make the player feel the weight of his struggle. Finally, the game could take a more subtle approach to portraying the symbiote's harmful effects. We could see Peter's relationship with his friends and loved ones deteriorate as he becomes more aggressive and distant. This could be a powerful way to show the emotional toll that the symbiote is taking on Peter and make the player feel invested in his struggle to overcome it. Now, do I think Peter Parker would die in Marvel Spider-Man 2? No, I don't. I think he would get attached to the symbiote through the pod Harry was in Oscorp Laboratories. Then he fights crime with the suit and notices the physical benefits and decides to keep it on till he's overwhelmed and goes on a fight of will. just as in Marvel Spider-Man 3 PSP against the Symbiote, or he meets Reed Richards like in the comics. Then he wins and gets detached from the symbiote, and it takes another host named Eddie Brock, forming Venom, which we see in the first trailer of Marvel Spider-Man 2, where Peter doesn't have the symbiote attached to him. In conclusion, the Venom symbiote is a dangerous and deadly force in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. While it may intentionally grant Peter Parker incredible powers, its parasitic nature and life-draining is a force that shouldn't be reckoned with. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and put your thoughts down in the comments below, and subscribe for more gaming content. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I would see you in the next video, bro. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your day, and bye.